Hey, I'm Eric Perkins. Welcome to our YouTube channel about construction stuff. We're going to continue our series about common building problems. And guess what? There's a ton of common building problems that we could get into. Today we're going to look at cracked grout. There's a problem that nobody wants, yet a lot of people have. And the most common place you're going to get cracked grout is against a tub or a countertop, because these items can move separately from your wall by just a little bit, and grout does not flex. So we're going to dive into a great way to solve that problem. If you're a tile guy, you probably know all about this. Don't even watch this video. But if you're not a tile guy, this may be new to you and it may save you a ton of heartache. All right, let's talk about grout for just a second. Sounds kind of boring, and maybe it is, but if you're going to do some tile, it's important to know about grout. So let's jump into that. There's several kinds of grout. There's sanded grout, which is great for floor tile that has wider grout joints. There is non-sanded grout, which is great for wall tile, like maybe a backsplash tile, subway tile with a very narrow grout joint, and that non-sanded will get into those tight spaces easier and better. There's also a kind of grout called epoxy grout, which is great for showers because it doesn't mildew and it dries almost like plastic. And it's a lot more expensive, but it's great where you don't want to have to maintain sanded or non-sanded grout and keep cleaning it like in a shower. All right, I hope you enjoyed that lesson on grout. Now let's talk about some more specific situations with grout, like when your tile is going to butt into something separate, some separate object, like a countertop or a tub or a shower. And those objects could move separately from your wall tile by just a fraction. But that's all it takes for regular grout to crack, okay? Because regular grout dries as hard as concrete, it does not flex, and any amount of movement will cause the grout to crack, which doesn't look good. So for years now, we have been using something in those locations different. And here it is, it's grout caulk. So this tube of grout caulk, like any tube of grout caulk, can come color matched to any color grout that you buy off the shelf at a store. In this case, it's charcoal. All right, so I'm going to run through the process of using this grout caulk the way I do it anyway. It may be done in a lot of different ways. And you may recognize this bathroom. I've used it in several videos. First step is just to clean everything up, of course. Get all the dirt off the floor, any little speck of anything that could get in the grout caulk as you're wiping it down and make a lump or a bump. You do not want that, so definitely get the whole area clean. All right, the second step is to mask off the area you're going to work in. I just use blue painter's tape and I mask on each side, and that'll help keep the grout caulk contained so it doesn't get all over everything. This stuff is really sticky compared to any regular kind of grout. It acts more like caulk, but I think it's even more sticky than most kinds of caulk. Here's a little better look at this subway tile with the charcoal colored grout. It really makes the tile pop. And here's a look at the tools I'm using to do this grout caulk. Nothing fancy, you do need a little water, and this thing is called the Caulk Buddy. That's the real name, but it actually works pretty well. And if you don't have one of these, you can just cut the corner off a regular grout float to wipe the caulk out of the corner instead of using your finger to start with. I usually go for about a 3/16 inch hole on the end of the caulk tube when I'm cutting it. I leave it at an angle and make sure to get rid of any burrs to make sure the caulk goes in smoothly. Next, you fill the grout joint completely, even overfill it by a bit. You can wipe off the excess, and then I start wiping the excess off before removing the blue tape. Once I have most of the excess off and any voids filled, I remove the blue tape and then continue to smooth and wipe away the caulk until it looks like a nice finished grout joint. And like I mentioned before, this can be a very tedious process. This stuff can be sticky and get all over everything, but it's a process, in my opinion, that has to be done in order to have a good finished product. You can see here I'm just wiping with a rag after using the Caulk Buddy to get most of the excess off of the joint. And I just slowly clean and wipe and make sure every little bit is perfect and void free before walking away, because this is a very visible spot in a tub. Thanks for watching our video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to subscribe and click the bell so you get our future videos about construction stuff. See ya.